My name's Lester. I'm with Dr. Pepper, and it's my pleasure to introduce Bill McReynolds with Legal Shield.
Thank you very much.
Bill's going to take a few minutes to
How's everybody doing this morning? Fine. These are my cards if anybody would like to take one. I've got somewhat of a cheat sheet, not that I need it, but I have some important points that may need to be shared, so bear with me. So, who's Bill McReynolds? My wife and I, well, first of all, my background is actually in manufacturing, primarily General Electric. And I've been in manufacturing for years and years. And some of you may recall the York plant back in the day. One day I went to work there, and the gate was actually locked at the time. And I had never experienced a plant shut down for good like that. I mean, I had no clue. So from that point on, it was like, okay, I've got to figure out some way to have a backup plan, a plan B, if you will. So back in the 1990s, the early 90s, my wife and I, we started checking out some business opportunities, and I didn't have time to reinvent the wheel or do a lot of market research. So I wanted to look for an opportunity, you know, that just had everything that we were looking for. And four of the things that we were looking for in a company was, of course, the product, the market, the timing, and of course the competition. That's when we found Legal Shield. And it was all by chance. You know, a friend of mine who was an associate with the company shared the membership with us, and he told me, hey, guess how much money I just made? And he told me, and so you know, I got thinking, wow, this could be something here. So I did what we call a stage gate process, which is really just technical research on the company and everything. And what I found was, I saw the vision of where Legal Shield was headed, and we got involved. And we actually marketed Legal Shield part-time. And so right around 2000, well, we bought the membership back in 1998. And in the year 2000, we became associates with Legal Shield, working on a part-time basis. And we made a nice income working part-time. You know, just a second additional income stream. And from that point, back in 2011, we went out to, well, I went out to Dallas, Texas, to one of our conventions, and I really saw the big picture because our company was bought out for $651 million by a group of investors. And I said, it's time to step up our game. So we opened up an office in downtown Madisonville, located at 10 North Main Street, and now we are in the process of taking our business to the next level. So with that said, what is Legal Shield actually? And that's something that most people, they just don't know what we really do. Legal Shield does for attorney and legal fees what Major Medical does for doctor and hospital bills. It gives you the ability to pick up the phone, speak with an attorney on any personal matter, and you don't have to worry about hourly costs, which is what most people do when they start to pick up the phone and call an attorney. So we put, you could say, a legal fortress around you and your family. So in a nutshell, that's what Legal Shield is. We specialize in top-rated attorneys, which are AB-rated attorneys. 95% of our attorneys are AB-rated. And about 18% of attorneys get what they call an AB rating. There's a system called Martindale-Hubbell, which actually rates attorneys. And about 18% get that AB rating, so that's about 82% that we don't even look at to be a part of our network. So, because we specialize in attorneys, so we don't have time for what some people would consider a jack-legged attorney to be a part of our network and mess up our business. I'm just being real, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I'm sure that most of you know, if you haven't figured it out yet, identity theft is it's huge. It's the fastest growing white-collar crime in America. It is so big now, well, every 2 to 3 seconds, someone's identity gets stolen. And as you know, they used to just dive in your dumpster and still, some mail with your information on it. Now they steal entire databases. I even heard, I think yesterday, something's going on again with Target. We are the top. We partner with a company called Crow Advisory Solutions, based out of Nashville, Tennessee, if you can believe that. And they are the world's leading risk consulting company. These guys are the best of the best. And I'm sure you've seen infomercials about ID theft. But what they don't tell you is what they don't tell you. And we have a saying in our business, it's not what you know, it's what you know you don't know. So it's our job as associates to educate people on identity theft protection and having access to justice, to the legal system. So that's what we do in a nutshell. And our goal is to make sure that, our market, we have a 100% market because we even have attorneys that have Legal Shield. And because, sometimes there's 26 areas of specialization in law. At Legal Shield, we specialize in all 26 areas. We're in 49 states and 4 provinces in Canada, and we are continuing to grow. We currently have 1.4 million members, and we serve about 5 million people because it covers you and your family. So with that said, that's pretty much it. But some of the challenges, I guess if you want to call it a challenge, is education and understanding. Most people, they think, well, what does a Legal Shield attorney look like? And again, it goes back to the AD rating. We have one of the top law firms in Kentucky. In each of the 49 states that we are in, we have a top provider law firm there. And we have like referral attorneys in every state. We have about almost 7,000 top-rated attorneys nationwide. So, for example, if you're in Georgia and something happens, you may have a friend who's an attorney here in the state of Kentucky, but if they don't have a license to practice law in Georgia, they can't help you. And a lot of times things happen on the weekends. So the bottom line is we make attorneys affordable, and we empower people and give them total access to justice. So, yes.
How are you, what's your geographic customer base? Like, who are you trying, what's the limits of who are you looking to serve?
We have no limits. See, not only do we market to individuals and families, we also market to small businesses all across North America, and we also go into companies, excuse me, and offer Legal Shield as an employee benefit. There are about 16 states where it does require a license to market our product, but you can't obtain that license to do that. So, again, we have a 100% marketplace.
Mm-hmm. But you yourself, out of your office, like when you define who I'm going to go out and try to, pitch to, who are you looking at? Mostly Hopkins County, or?
Oh no, we do a lot of traffic, but everywhere. We talk to business owners. We talk to individuals and families. We just talk to everybody because everybody. We have a moral obligation to share what we do with everybody. It doesn't matter who, so they can make an informed and an educated decision. Yes.
I think what he's trying to ask you, and what I'm going to ask you is, when you decided to, at first you bought in, and then you decided to do it part-time, and you were doing good part-time, but then you said in 2011 you made the decision to get a downtown office and to open your office. When you make a decision of that magnitude, you have to look for a market or a customer base, and as all of us know, when we think that we're good at what we do, we just open up our door and say, hey, the light's on, we're ready, come on in. But you can't do that.
My main focus
who did you market to, and how did you do that? How did you find that next customer? Like tomorrow when you go get a customer, how are you going to go find
Okay, well, we always ask for referrals.
Okay.
Every time we write business, we ask for referrals. And, for example, on the individual and personal memberships, we don't just ask for any referrals. It's who do you know, who do you love and care about? Not just Joe Blow who's driving by going down the street. We want people because, we want to keep business on the books for the lifetime of the member because it's important. So some people say, well, and by the way, we don't take anyone contract hostage either. With our membership, you pay by the month and we take care of you by the month. So that, makes the person understand. Yes.
You said this is an employee benefit. Is this something that can be offered on a cafeteria plan on an after-tax basis?
I'm not quite sure what you mean about that.
Is it like on insurance? If you offer like Aflac, you can offer it on a pre-tax or after-tax basis, depending on what the product is. If it's an employee benefit, is this something that you can offer as a payroll deduction?
Yes. We can even offer it as a fringe benefit, and it's strictly voluntary.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. Yes.
You talked about personal and business. Now, of course, that's two separate entities.
Right.
I'm assuming that the personal is primarily to deal with liability issues, things like this. Now, That's not my question. The question is if you offer it to a business, and this business, let's say, needs a new contract form or something you normally call your own attorney for and say, hey, I need a new agreement for something, whatever. And they spit it out for you and hand you a bill for whatever.
Right.
Now, does your thing cover the routine, day-to-day, not just phone calls, but, hey, I want to write a new lease, I want a contract, you'll do that.
And I'm glad you said that, you asked that, right? I mean, we do it all. I mean, and see, sometimes people say, well, how can you do all that? I mean, we do it all. Membership has its privileges, and so we have about currently close to 11,000 members in the state of Kentucky, and we have less than 2% market penetration throughout the entire state and less than 3% market penetration throughout the entire United States. So it's, we got work to do, and we can't do it all by ourselves. We have associates in about 8 states that create leverage for our business. Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to interrupt,
That's
but
okay.
I'm getting in line. With that regard to your product, what did you need to change in your business plan? What have been some of your biggest challenges since you got involved in this? And what do you see coming up as some of your biggest challenges to grow your business, Bill?
As far as challenges, honestly, there has been times when some folks, they may pay attention to the messenger rather than the message. And education and understanding is key. We have a system in place. We don't have to go out and try to reinvent the wheel, but you know, the challenge is going to be letting everybody know what we do at Legal Shield and how it can help them or their business. That's the challenge. So it takes help to do that. We can't do it all, but everywhere we go, you know, there's a business opportunity in front of us. And so, you know.
Well, having said that, with that, the challenge of letting everybody know, what kind of media do you use to market Legal Shield?
That's a good question. Well, we definitely take advantage of 21st century marketing. Everything from social media to word of mouth to just Twitter, I mean, you name it, we take advantage of that. But in our business, we believe in third party, which is anybody other than you telling the story. We have professional tools such as DVDs and websites and all that. Everything's been done, and that was one of the reasons why we chose this business. We didn't have time to do all that, to put all that together. We had to find something that was already done, a system in place that was working. And so we just use all types of methods, but we do primarily believe in third party. Yes, sir.
Who are your main competitors? Is LegalZoom a competitor of yours?
No. LegalZooms, they specialize mainly in getting businesses started. We do all that and more.
Okay.
You know, we've been around since 1972. Attorneys who aren't AV rated that may hate on Legal Shield for whatever reason. That's okay. But, you know, because when attorneys, we can refer, for example, we could refer a local attorney to be part of the Legal Shield network if they have that AV rating, but they have to go through a process with the provider firm in Louisville to make sure that they qualify to be a Legal Shield referral attorney.
Do you have any local attorneys in within the 60-mile network that are part of that program?
Yes. Now, and that is something that once you become a member, you know who those people are, but I will give a hint. One of them, by the Reader's Choice magazine, was voted here in Hopkins County as the best legal service. But you know, we're working on that. We want to get as many local attorneys that we can, and you know, if there's an attorney, see, the attorneys get paid like the provider firm. They get a percentage of the memberships, whether we call them or not. And the attorneys who are referral attorneys with Legal Shield are paid by the provider firm through the company. By the way, we're headquartered in Oklahoma, a town called Ada, Oklahoma. We also have offices in Dallas, Texas. Yes, ma'am.
So can I request a specific attorney, or is it socialized law?
Good question. You know, some people, they don't, or they may not necessarily want to use a local attorney. Some people say, well, you know, They're buddies, they go to court and they go out to lunch, and that's true. For example, if you didn't want, yes, you could request a specific attorney, but if you wanted an attorney, say from Henderson and not Madisonville, you could do that. Or Bowling Green. We have attorneys in Owensboro, Henderson, any city or town with at least 19 or 20,000. We have a few attorneys in each of those states. In each of those towns or cities, yes.
So you were in manufacturing, and you come up with a whole new deal.
Right.
Somebody in your life, maybe it was your wife sitting next to me, but somebody had to say, you're nuts, that this is crazy to be going into this brand new. Okay. How did you get over that? How did you keep your own confidence?
Well, first it was determination. I was determined to make it happen. And you know, you can do anything you want to do if you just make up your mind, hey, I'm going to make it happen. And that's when I get up every morning, I tell myself, all right, Bill, let's go make it happen. But I had to convince her at first because I had tried, even when I was like a teenager, I had a little business and it was called Green Mint Gifts. And we sold gifts, you know, like kids used to do, and sell gifts. And, you know, I thought, mint, green mint. I just came up with that silly name and I laugh about it now, but I made a little money back then, so I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit or mindset. But, you know, when I first got into Legal Shield, I had to convince her, I said, this is it. And when we first got started, in our first 2 weeks, we had about 22 sales. We sort of hit the ground running. And when she saw the income, money talks. So she came on board, and it's been, you know, she's been on board ever since. Yes, ma'am.
Now, you said that you had worked for GE. Are you still with GE?
Good question. Yes, I am. And, you know, in our business, believe it or not, 8 to 10 hours is considered full-time. We can get a lot done in 8 to 10 hours in Legal Shield. Now, as far as to answer your question, I've been at GE actually since 1996, but I have one more winter season and I'll be in position for early retirement, which I'm looking so forward to. And then I can spend all my time doing what I love to do. And you know, it's just a great feeling when you are able to empower people and give them access like that. So you have the bottom 10%, which is, you know, they have access to legal aid and public defender. Then you have that upper 10%, which is considered the wealthy or the rich. But that middle 80%, that's a $100 billion market. And, you know, they say it would take 100 years to share Legal Shield with everybody. And unfortunately, I won't be around for that long. But,
well,
yes, ma'am.
Another question that I have, if you become a member of Legal Shield, I mean, is that only to be able to pick up the phone and make a phone call? Or if you've got a pending lawsuit and you need that attorney, does your membership cover that type of thing?
Our attorneys are as real can get. And if you need an attorney to represent you in court, the only thing we ask for is for 5 days advance notice so the attorney can prepare, or whatever. But things like contract and document review, just, I mean, we do it all. Yes, sir.
Bill, I imagine there have to be some limits. Let's say you obviously sell to companies. Let's say a company becomes a member of Legal Shield and they get hit with a major class action lawsuit. And I mean, legal fees, we won't even talk about legal fees. The amount of time that a law firm may invest in defending such a claim can run into thousands of hours spread over years of time.
Right.
I'm guessing there must be some limits on that policy.
Well, there really are no limits.
Really?
You know, and let me share that. I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, anything from the trivial to the traumatic, we can represent you for a Legal Shield. And things of a more traumatic nature, we have what we call a 25% preferred member discount for businesses or individuals and families. And that's what I like to call our safety net savings guarantee. Under our family and individual plan, 90% of legal concerns are all handled just, you know, from being a member of Legal Shield. But there are things, the 25% are for things that you might experience once in your life, like divorce or, you know, we say from kidnapping to kid slashing, you know, but you don't want to do any of the above. But, you know, it doesn't matter. If you are a member, you have access.
But it costs you additional premium for that then. And that's what you were asking? Okay.
Yes. Now, you know, we used to be called prepaid legal services when we first started as a company. And just to educate people, we have to let them know it's called prepaid legal, not prepaid legal. If we gave everything away for free, if our attorneys did all that for free, we'd be out of business. But let's face it, when you're talking about a top-rated attorney having access to an AB-rated attorney, would you rather, and just for the sake of keeping the math simple, would you rather pay $100 an hour or $75 an hour? A 25% discount can save you a lot when you're talking about attorney fees. So that's something to think about. And there's not a top-rated law firm in this area, for that matter, that you can walk into and say, oh, and by the way, I'd like a 25% discount. It's just not going to happen. So if we can't give it to you just for your membership, at least you're going to get that 25% discount off of your attorney's standard hourly appropriate rate. Anyone else? You've been a great audience today. Great questions. But you know, again, it's just about education. And again, that's why we use third party, because we know third party's not going to make a mistake in sharing what we do. So.
So who's new to 1 million cups this week? Woo. Well, we thank you for coming this week. If you're interested in presenting, please go to www.hopkins.sites.1millioncups.com. Next week, 7:30. We want to thank Kevin Cotton once again, and City Manager.
We also encourage everybody to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You can find out more information that way. We'll be posting some recaps of what happened this week.
I grew up having my wife.
Possible. Gotta get the county to surplus.